Welcome to our WYLN TV 35 Meet the Hazleton Area School Board Candidates Special Report. WYLN TV 35 is proud to once again take the lead in local political coverage. May 21st marks the Pennsylvania primary, and we have a number of exciting races coming up. In this special, you will meet candidates for Hazleton Area School Board. Every candidate running this primary was invited to participate, and each candidate in this special will answer the same 4 questions. The questions are focused on school safety, quality of education, overcrowding, and why they believe they are the candidate best qualified to serve the needs of the district. We hope their answers help you make informed decisions when you vote. And now, our exclusive WYLN TV 35 Meet the Hazleton Area School Board Candidates Special Report.
Well, safety is a major concern for us. Educating our children and safety are right up there together. And, you know, we have to support our police, our staff, our school police department. You know, we need to get it across to our students that you need to follow rules, policies, laws, and every student should be treated equally right across the board when it comes to discipline. Our district has instituted a discipline policy, a new updated one that's been in accordance with state regulations. And I think also in conjunction with the security, we need some programs, and we're working on some programs. Rachel's Challenge, for example, that teaches respect to students, a positive behavior policy, that rewards students for positive behavior. So some programs in conjunction with security is what we need for our students. Also, you know, there's some overcrowding in some schools, and that's one of the issues with security, and that's one of the issues we need to relieve, some of the overcrowding. Well, our administration has to work on that. We have to work on it with the state, with other schools, and try to beef that up. We have excellent teachers, we have excellent administrative staff, and the potential is there. And it's also with the overcrowding, it's tough with the larger class sizes. That's why we need also to reduce class sizes and the overcrowding, and I think everything will fall into place at that point. Overcrowding is a definite problem, and we don't see any sight of it stopping. The enrollment keeps going up. I don't see that slowing down. So we're actually at this point looking at different options. There's many different options. We're moving children around to different schools, adding additions to like the high school. We have closed the pools already. So there's a lot of options out there, and the board as a whole needs to look at these options, but we need to take recommendations from our administration, our superintendent, our principals and teachers on what is the best way to do this, because you know, we don't want to have a negative effect on our students either. So we want to move them around or add additions to schools that will benefit them educationally also. Many options out there. We have to take our time and look at those options, because not only do we want to do what's best for the students, but budgetary reasons, we want to be cognizant of our taxpayer dollars too. Well, I think I'm a dedicated person. I ran for school board because I wanted to make a difference in our area, get our students quality education, and keep them safe and keep them in our area to better our area. You know, our area has some issues going on, and we need to work on that. There are many challenges in our school district, such as finances, overcrowding, security. And after my first 4 years, which I'm coming upon now, I decided to run again because I want to continue to work on those challenges. Our job's not done. I think that I have the experience now. It takes a while when you first come on the school board, to learn the ropes. And it takes a few years, and I've got that experience behind me, and I have no other intent other than do what's best for our students and our taxpayers.
What I think I will do is try to bring more, try to get more resources so we can target the safety of our children. And I think it'll be good just to hire more security guards in the building. One of the things that I have on our platforms is that I grew up with. I grew up in the public school district in New York. And what we used to have back then was one of the, it was an ID that we used to have to go into the school. So I'm putting that in my proposal. I would like to use that. It's very secure. So when children will come in, they will have to, back in New York, I don't know if you've been to New York, but like on the train station, when you go in, you have to slide your Metro card. That's where it was when I was in the high school. We actually had an ID with our picture on it, and we have to slide it. You know, if you weren't suspended, if you were good to go into the school, it would be green. If you were suspended, then it would turn red right away. So the security guys will know that you weren't allowed in the building, and they will like escort you in one into the security offices and, you know, find out what was wrong. And then it had like a cute little one that was blue. So when it was your birthday, it will turn blue and everybody will like sing happy birthday to you. And that way it will actually keep, you know, we'll keep count on who's supposed to be in the school and who's not. Because right now, I know we have the metal detectors, but for me, it's randomly picked sometimes, especially like after hours. And I've been there, I've seen how it works. I think we need a more secure way, especially in the middle school and high school. I think we need to bring more teachers that are prepared. I know we have a big part of the Latino community now, and there is a lot of resources for like bilingual programs. I think we need to implement that, hire more teachers that are bilinguals. That way, you know, because we do have the potential, we're just not getting there. And I think we need to actually bring more teachers, prepare the teachers, even if the ones that we have, if we can send them to get special trainings and get our kids on board with everything, so we can actually, because we do, like I said, we do have the potential to even go, you know, and compete. And right now we're not doing it. We are really locked. We're like $4.99 right now. So yeah, we need to kind of work together as a team. Everybody, you know, the superintendent, the teachers, everybody get together and see what we can do to improve that and to actually go ahead and, you know, be number one instead of $4.99. Well, I think we should go back to like back in the days when we used to have like Freeland used to have their own high school. I think we'd either go back to that, or one thing that we should do is to kind of get one building and implement like the 7th and 8th grade, the middle school kids go to that building. I think that'll ease a lot on our high school right now. So if we can just do that, it'll be better. Like I said, in New York where I grew up, they did have different buildings for middle school. So I think that will work really good. I don't favor what they're doing right now, which is minimizing the libraries to make room. I think we need to look into other options before we can get into that. Just because I'm a mother and I have children that go to the Hazen School. I'm a mother of 6, And I have one that is in the high school right now, and I have 3 little ones that are, 2 of them attend the school. So I think as a mother, as a worried mother, there is no more point of view that you can see from outside everything that is going on and everything that we can offer to our children.
Regarding with the security, I think so we need to focus more and bring more counselor in the school, more probably some psychology. We have a grant, obviously we don't have it in this moment, but it's a grant that they give it specific for prevent the violence, so we can work with this. Well, again, sorry, I used the same. We need to hire a writer grant. Somebody write a grant. Why? Because we have a lot of monies over there waiting for us. We need to hire a bilingual staff for put a specific place we need it. You know, the school have a more Hispanic population. We can put this teacher. We can put the staff. Even when we have a security, need to be bilingual. The people in the cafeteria need to be bilingual. Why? Because if you know what the kids talking, if you know what is the situation, you can prevent. Normally what they're doing is they go at in the moment that what happened because they don't know what is in the table because they don't understand what happened. So that can be very important. Another thing is we need to focus more to the kids having and the teacher having what they needed for teach. If we don't focus our money and the kid and the teacher, it will be so hard that they can hide their academic achievement. It's easy you say, oh, I prefer the building, or I prefer rent. We are outside right now. So basically, if I have an opportunity to be over there, we need to see what is the best possibility we have. Right now, what I see that I don't like it is they take a decision, okay, we go cut the library, and that's it. When I go to the meeting, I never see any another. I don't see in the table more than one choice. They give only one choice, and we go working with this. So we need to be over there to see what is the best decision for the kids. Particularly, I don't think so the cut to the library is a good idea, but I can't tell you right now, oh, it's better building, because we have only $154 million in budget, and we need to be sure what is the best. But right now, I don't think so cut the library is the best, but I can't say you, oh, go building, because I don't know how much the cost for the building or how much is the rent. I need to be inside to be honest and say the truth. That's the best for the kids. Unless I want to be one the best. I think so. I am mother. My son is student in the STEM. He's in the college now, but I have 2 granddaughters. I have a neighbor, and I think so we can understand what the needs the kids having right now. The teacher, I was assistant teacher, or they call paraprofessional here, so I was involved over there. I involved into the community. I listen what they say, and we know we can do a good job. We can do it. I think the best job that the people have over there 15 years or whatever they have over there, and we don't have too much success. So I think so I can do something good.
Yeah, the school safety is the really big issue now in Hazleton Area School District. One of the things I will to approach the school districts, we need a behavior team. We need hiring more professional, like counseling, like psychologists, and all this kind. But let me explain what kind of the psychology. We need bilingual psychology because we are 57%. That is the reason. If you hiring a simple psychology, you're not going to be fixing the safetyness. Because if you one kid that not speak English need urgent attention, you have to have the Spanish speaker psychology in the district. This is one thing. Even like counseling. If you're going to be hiring counseling, you have to hire a cultural competent counseling, that they understand the cultures, and even they understand like the mixes of this all the culture that we have in Hazleton, because we are not one ethnicity. We have Puerto Rican, we have Salvadorian, Mexican. We have a really huge population. One of the things is we have to increase this kind of professional in the school district. The other thing is, for example, looking at another safety issue is, for example, if you know the big issue is in the lunch, let's do something different in the lunch. For example, if you go to Japan, all the kids in Japan is in the classroom, and they minimize all the peer pressure they have, all this stuff, and then we can follow something like that. I think it's the big issue, the safety net. And then one thing is follow the really good system. I think it's the best thing we can do it. Like I explained before, sometimes, and our run is 499. And then what is the reason? I think that we have to implement the really good system. We need a educational reform like urgent in Pennsylvania completely. No, it's only in Hazleton. One thing is implement different system. The other thing is we need really urgent have a bilingual staffing. We need to start staffing bilingual people, because, for example, if you give you the PSSAs and no English speakers, but you give you the PSSN in English, what you're gonna have, But if we have bilingual education, that is different than ESL. I think we're gonna be like raising more and more academic approach. For example, because we have the problem, try to build in that sometimes that you give you more problem to the problem. I think we have many around our town. We have different buildings that we can rent in, or even we can write a grant to buy it. Because the money is out, grant.gov, you can find the money for that. And then I think if we doing like the renting for now, and then but planning to building something. For example, we have in Freeland, we have before the high school, junior high school, like it's like middle school. We can start implementing junior high schools, and then renting, and then be more like for safe, because now with this crowd we are not safe, and then we can start renting, but with the vision in the future, we need the doing something, building new ones or something. For example, looking around, you find in Church Street we have one building. If you go in Vine Street, we have another building that we can rent it. Even in Diamond Street, that they have the church, they have behind the church, they have one school. We have building that we can rent in and try to do something to start release the pain or release the problem. I think it's a good thing to do. First thing is, I am the mother with concern, and I have experience. I had 22 years as a teacher. I working with grant before, and I was migrant teacher for 9 years in Hazleton Area School District. I know the population, I know where the problem coming, and I always advocacy for them. And the other thing is, I have the desire to do well for Hazleton School District. I really want this number, this rank, like 499, put this rank in the first 20. Because when we put the budget, the money in the right place, we can do it. We can do it many things, but we had to get in together. We had to build the stuff together. We had to do all these changes together. And I think I have this capability to do it. And I think I can, all the experience that I have as a 22 years and as a mother of 5 kids, I think I have the experience to do it.
I would like to implement more mentors, more counselors for the schools. I feel that in order for us to have a clear understanding with our safeties, we also have to understand our students, and we need to try to mentor them and give them a positive outlook. I feel that we need more instructors, more paraprofessionals, more ESL teachers and bilingual teachers within the district. And I feel that in order for us to excel academically, we need to incorporate more instructors and more bilingual paraprofessionals within the district. Well, there are schools within the district that I feel that can be modified or reconstructed, so that way we can incorporate our new population of students within those schools. I also want to incorporate modular efficiencies in each of the schools within the district to kind of help with the overpopulation that is occurring now. I feel that I am the best candidate because I am a mother. I live here in the district. I know the concerns. My concerns are equally as important for my family as it is for your family. And I feel that we need someone on the school board that can bring a diverse outlook and that takes everyone in the community's perspectives and concerns into consideration. And I want to be able to bring that change, bring that positive change. I want to be a proactive school board member, and I want to be the voice for everyone here in the community.
Well, first of all, I think that a lot of there's a lot of stories that come out of the high school, especially the high school and other schools, that are only half truths. So I have to say that right up front. I worked at the high school for 16 years, and I thought the security there, they were just excellent. The commander or the Chief Ed Harry, is like top notch. He's just right by the book. But my answer to how would I help security, what would I do at any of these crowded buildings is, at the high school is too small for the number of students. There's no way to get around it. It wasn't built for that many students. It can't handle that many students in the hallways, in the cafeteria, or in the classrooms. So there has to be an answer to what are we going to do about the overcrowding there. I would love to say get rid of the standardized testing, because that's where we keep falling below, because they don't take into consideration anything but here's the numbers and here are your scores. They don't take into consideration whether they're non-English speaking. They don't take into consideration what grade level they should be at, but they're at age appropriate grade. So I think there's a lot wrong with the state testing, and I think that that has to be looked at throughout the whole Commonwealth, because other districts, let's face it, have the money to give more to their students, whereas we have an overcrowded system right now. So I think we have to do something about the standardized testing. Well, I don't know all that about, like, if you acquire a building, do you get money back from the state? I think there's a difference if you acquire a building and then you redo it, but I'm not sure about all that. I would have to learn from the people that are on there. So I don't want to speak out against that, but I think there needs to be some building, because we need to do something with the high school. Whether it be building another high school, whether it be putting the 9th grade someplace, I don't know what the answer is, and I'm hoping to learn when I get on the board, but something has to be done for the parents' sake, for the students' sake, and for the teachers. I thought about that a lot myself before I ran for it, but I worked for the school district for 33 years. I loved working for the school district, and if I didn't just get too old to go in every day, I would have said I would stay. But it's time for me to give back. It's, I like the job. I love the students. The teachers are great. So I just want to see what I can do with my expertise and my background and see what I can give back to this community.
Well, obviously, we are all concerned about school safety. We live in dangerous times, and it's unfortunate that we have to extend the amount of resources that we do these days on security and safety. But it is important. I stand in support of our security staff. We have a very caring and hardworking security staff. I'm pleased with what's going on in terms of training. It's a difficult thing, security, because you're always going to have incidents that occur that people are unhappy with. I don't believe in my heart that any security staff member is interested in harming a student, but there are situations where they have to regain control, and I think that we need to continue with the level of security that we have and improve where necessary, and I think they're sincerely trying to do that. Part of our academic performance obviously is tied to our students' abilities and the support that we get from the families. Schools can't do it all. In many aspects of the school community, we're asking our schools to do a lot. As far as the academic progress is concerned, I think that our administration is trying very hard to take a look at areas where we have weaknesses and pull up our scores. As a former teacher, I've always been a little bit concerned about that we seem to be pushing test scores and basing our school district's progress and the level of quality of our school district solely on test scores. And I know that a lot of information is generated on the state level. I wonder sometimes about how they take into account our students' ability to deal with some of the problems that they have. And let's face it, in the Hazleton area, we have a lot of students who are coming with baggage. They're coming with language barriers. They're coming to our school district with economic barriers. And I know our school district is responsive to that. They're dealing with things like providing lunches for children as young as 5 years old, and even in the summertime. So I will like to work with administration on making progress with our test scores. I hope we don't dwell on that to the extent of putting too much emphasis on them. But I understand that we have to compete with other school systems in the state, and when you compare us to other schools, we don't seem to add up. But we have an incredibly large school district, an incredibly large population, and it's a difficult thing to provide every service for everything that every child needs. But I think we're trying our best, and we'll continue to do that. We definitely have an overcrowded school system. It's amazing. When I first started teaching, and I've been retired now since 2016, we had about 450 teachers, and we had just built a whole bunch of new schools, like Valley Elementary came online, the new high school came online a few years after that, and they were immediately overcrowded. It's a problem that's not going away, and I was struck at the last school board meeting by one of the comments that was made, that we seem to just be patching the problem. I think we're at the point where we seriously have to take a look at, and money is an issue, but we seriously have to take a look at a second high school. I would be in favor of taking a good hard look at that, because the overcrowding at the high school, it's a cumulative effect. It affects our test scores, it affects our class size, it affects the problems that we're having with discipline in the cafeteria, like the incident that took place that everyone was upset over recently. But the problem always boils down to money. How do you pay for these things? Our taxpayers, and I'm one of them, my own property, I live in Latimer. I've raised 2 boys in the area, and they went to school here. It's a difficult thing, because we can't keep placing burdens on our property owners. So I'm looking to the state level to step up and help out a little bit more than they have been, and we'll go from there. But elementary also overcrowded. I think we need to take a look at another elementary building, because we're doing modulars. I'm against dividing libraries. I stated that at the last school board meeting. It's a big issue. I would be very, very proud to serve on the Hazleton Area School Board, because I spent my career here. My wife was a teacher in the Hazleton Area School District for 36 years. My family is here. I'm proud of our school district. I think the best years are ahead of us. We have a lot of problems, but those problems are due mostly to growing pains, and that in some aspects is a good thing, because it keeps you from being complacent. And I have a lot of experience. I've been Hazel Township auditor since 2003. Hazel Township has a tax base of $1.2 billion. I'm also a member of the board of directors of the Hazleton Area School Employees Credit Union, which has a budget of $29 million. Our school district has a budget of $148 million. That's a lot of money. And I think I have the experience, both as a teacher and both as a community service interested person, and that I can do well for the community, and I'd be proud to do so.
I believe that our school system, we have really good educators. The teachers are quality educators. Just maybe take a better stance with the students to create like a balance. If they need more help, maybe offer more programs that would help them, educationally. I'm very proud to be a member of the Hazleton Area School Board for the past 3.5 years. I believe that a school board member should be a good listener along with a good communicator. I'm running with an amazing team. Together we think we could create a positive impact toward the goals that we all believe in. Our first goal is to create a safe environment for our students, our teachers, and our staff, to enforce the rules and policies of the Hazleton Area School Board, and to foster diversity.
One of the best things right now is our district just got approved for a Pennsylvania school security grant today. So that's $57,000 that's being implemented in towards improving the access of people coming into the schools checking identification. I think one of the things that will definitely help with safety is alleviating the overcrowding issues by decreasing the amount of students in each classroom. It's going to create less stress with the students. I think one thing that needs to be done is I think that we need to look at the way that students are being placed in classes. I think that one thing we need to be looking at is the ability level. I know that a lot of times kids want to be placed in the classroom based on their age, but one of the issues that may be going into that is placing a kid in a classroom that's way above their actual ability level, and they're falling behind academically because they don't understand what's going on. They may need more one-on-one attention outside of the classroom as well. Well, I think one of the biggest things we need to look at is the resources available. I, for one, can relate to the issues with the overcrowding in the district, experiencing them firsthand as a student in the district. I went to 4 public schools in 4 years, yet I never moved. I went to Hazel L, K through 6. For 7th grade, I went to Valley. 8th grade, I went to Drums. And for 9th grade, I split time between the high school and the Career Center. So I understand firsthand what it's like to be shifted between all these schools. And my brother, for one, went to Heights Terrace. So as you could see that, you know, the boundary shifting and overcrowding has created a strain that's been going on since at least 2000 and has not let up. I think one of the biggest things we need to do is look at the resources out there that are available. For example, Emmanuel Christian School, they're moving out of that. That might be a potential space for us to look at within the district, potentially remodel and bring it up to ADA code and see what that would cost. I think the other things we need to look at is see what other plans are available within the district, whether turning Maple Manor into a 9th grade center or building on a wing to Hazel L, or what other options are available out there. We need to make sure that we're making the best cost-effective decision for the future and the best answer for the students. I don't think that there's one right answer right now, but I do think that there are more options that need to be explored and make sure that it's the best one for years to come. As one of the most recent graduates of the school district, I am a product of the Hazleton area. I graduated from the high school in 2005, distinguished honors, top 30 of my class. And after graduating from Wilkes University with my doctor of pharmacy, I chose to come back to the area. I want to make a difference in my hometown, and I've proved that through my community service and involvement with the area, with the Miss Greater Hazleton Scholarship Organization, the West Hazleton Lions Club, Can Do, board of directors on their community relations board, the CVCO board, that I really do care about the students that are in the area, the people that are in the area, and I want to see our school district succeed. I want the students to have a positive experience, and in the end, it's all about making a difference and trying to do what's best for the people in this area.
Having been an administrator in the school district for 28 years, one of the things that bothers me an awful lot is when I read in the paper children 9, 10, 11 years old being arrested. In the past, it was up to the administrators in the building to handle it. And I would say 95% of the time, it was handled without any arrests. But I understand security is a job to do, and in my opinion, they're doing it very well. Maybe they're a little overzealous sometimes, but maybe they have to be. That's very difficult with the demographics that we have, and I'll give you an example. When I was principal of the high school, I had two young men come into my office or into the building. One was 18 years old, one was 19 years old. And the last grade they were in was second. And in Pennsylvania, they have what they call age appropriate. So the one young man became a junior, the other one became a senior. The one who became a junior had to take the PSSA test. He didn't speak English, so what chance did he have? I don't know if we should have a separate school for beginning learners. Some districts do, but I know some places they don't want to do it because they want everybody in the same buildings together. I don't know if that's the answer, but I think we have to spend a little bit more time with our English learners than we have. And I think it's very important. And one of the things maybe we need more of, and I see in the paper, Hispanic teachers, but I don't know if that would work either, because we tried years ago when I was a principal going out recruiting, and we could not recruit any Hispanic teachers to our district. Why? I have no idea. But it's important that we bring them up to speed, so not only is our district successful, but that they are also. And one of the groups that are doing a heck of a job is the HIP. They're doing a wonderful job with the young children, the young adults who partake in their after-school programs. They're doing a fantastic job, and I think that's a big help to our district. Well, my philosophy has been, and I'm going to give you an example. Mr. Victor was superintendent of buildings in the district. I was in his office at the end of the summer, and he said, "Clarence, guess how many students we got in this year?" I said, "Frank, I have no idea." He said, "We had 705 new students." Guess how many we lost? I said, "Frank, I have no idea." He said, 702. So we gained 3 students. So my question, I guess, to the current administration and the board is, it's not what you begin with, what do you end up with? One of the easiest things to do temporarily, as far as I am concerned, years ago when Freeland building was being renovated, we had Freeland come over to the old Hazelton High School, and we had what we called an early bird. And an early bird was a class that started an hour before the regular classes started. And what it did was it alleviated congestion beginning of school, at the end of school, and it also provided us with a 4th lunch. And the 4th lunch was not at 9 o'clock. It was when their normal lunch would have been, but they've already put in 2 periods. That could be part of the answer. Will it work now? And part of the problem was at that time, I don't know if it would be now, we only allowed the students who drove to school or walked to school. There was no busing. It was great for the kids in the Career Center because they could go to work an hour early on their co-op. And a lot of the students, as you well know, do have extra jobs after school. And that would give them more time to go to work and help support their families. That's one possibility. I do not want to see buildings being built just to build them. Give you an example, I remember Dr. Antonelli was superintendent. His sister was superintendent at Williamsport. And they had a big employer up there leave. And they lost 2,000 students in a matter of no time because people left. If that would happen here, how many would we leave? So we have to be a little more cautious about overbuilding. See in the paper, Emmanuel Christian is going to move. Maybe that's an option. We could do that. I don't think the bill for the sake of building is right to do. I think Mr. Zola had a great idea. Maybe we should have another junior high. I think what would have been ideal years ago was that have the North Campus and the South Campus. But at that time when I was in the board, people didn't want to listen. I think that would have been a lot easier. I don't think building is a solution. I think there's other options to be looked at. Okay, I've had 45 years in education. I've run Hazelton School District's credit union for 40 years. I have a vast knowledge of education, a vast knowledge of finance. And I think to be on the school board, you should have some type of background in education. I don't see how a person can walk in off the street and become a school director. They don't know what's involved in education. A lot of them don't have any background in finances. Some of them are very smart. I'll give them credit. But I think to be on the school board, you should have a combination of least experience in education. I don't know how many who are running for the board have years in education. I really and truly don't. I mean, we have 2 board members on there now, Linda DeCosmo, who has a lot of years, and Bobby Mahalik. They're fine being on the board because I have the background. I don't think anybody that's running with the group of 5 has any background in education. I'm not too sure about any of the Hispanics, but I know between Ellen McBride, myself, and John Busher, we have over 100 years of experience in education. And I think experience is what you need to be a good school board member and know what's going on. And I think if you want to know the truth, the school board in Hazelton does not run the district. I can tell you that from experience, both as an administrator, classroom teacher, and a board member. I think it's time for the board to take over.
The life that we live today, school safety is our #1 priority. What a lot of people don't understand is we probably have one of the best security forces and chief of police that are in business today. Ed Harry he's up on everything. He crosses all his T's. He dots all his I's. I mean, each one of these people that are working for our security, I believe most of them are already trained and restrained. So a situation went on a little while back. We had a little problem with a couple students in our cafeteria, and the security took it upon themselves to restrain the individual, and they did it. But what people don't realize is that the person that was doing the restraining, along with the teacher that was there, they're all trained in that type of force that they have to inflict. What would I do to improve it? That's something that for as long as I've been a school director, that's something that I really have never completely focused on as far as it goes. I think, again, as I said to you before, I think that the security force that we have and the SROs that we have, I mean, they're all very, very much qualified. I took a little bit of offense to a statement that was made that we are targeting a certain group of people, and I made a statement over in McAdoo. I said, for as long as I know Mr. Vincent Zola and Mr. Eddie Harry, and as long as I know our superintendent, Brian Upplinger, we have never specifically targeted any group of people. So in most cases, with as many kids as we have in our district, most cases that the people that are being restrained, they deserve what they're being restrained for. That's a good question. Our district is a little bit different than a lot of the 499 districts across Pennsylvania. We have a major barrier that it seems to be holding some of our students back, and that is that a lot of them don't speak English and they don't understand English. When I first started in politics 16 years ago, I believe we had one ESL teacher. Today we are topping it off at over 100 ESL teachers. So it's a major problem. What would I do differently? Again, it's something else that I put in the hand of our professionals. Our ESL department, our special ed department, they're very well versed on the subject, and I'm a very patient man, so I'm just willing to put all my trust in those guys. Right now, at this point in time, the district is embarking on another building program. And the first thing that we have issues in the elementary schools, we have overcrowding issues on the secondary level. The first thing that we did collectively as a board, we had decided to fill our swimming pools in and make additional classroom spaces there. Along with that, and when we decided to do that, we borrowed $10 million. We were fortunate that the bids came in around $5 million. So it would allow us to do something more with the money that we have borrowed. One of the ideas that was presented to us was to modernize the libraries. Actually, some of our libraries are very big, and a lot of the space, if you look up at the castle, you look at some of the other schools, they're just so big that we have a lot of wasted space there. But I think the way it was presented, and I talked to the architect earlier in the week, and I said, Harry, I said, a lot of people feel like we're going to be closing the libraries, and there is nothing further from the truth. We're modernizing the libraries and giving our elementary kids more space. By filling in the swimming pools and by modernizing the libraries, we pick up about 750 seats, which quite honestly, that's another elementary school. So if we finally go ahead and complete those two projects, our next project is going to be on to figuring out what we're going to do on the secondary level. Ideas have been bantered around about putting a 9th grade addition onto our high school. The thing about myself is I'm more of a conservative person. I don't spend my money foolishly, and I certainly would never expect to spend the taxpayers' money foolishly. So this is something that the elementary stuff seemed like more of an immediate thing, but on the secondary level, I think we got to crawl before we walk, and it seems like the rest of the other 8 members of the board are all inclined to want to just listen to every option before we go and do anything with that. Again, I feel that I'm fully qualified to be on the Board of Education in the Hazleton Area School District. I have a good background in finance. I experienced a lot of the things in my 16 years that happen daily. The thing is, when I got involved in wanting to become a school director, I was coming in with no agenda. And what I'm finding now that there's people that are planning on running for school director, and their intentions are to fire people, which again, there's nothing correct about doing that. But I feel like, again, I'm fiscally conservative. I think outside the box. And again, in the environment that we're living in today, I think our school district needs somebody that can think outside the box, and I work well with people. So I get along well with our business office, our superintendent, assistant superintendent. So again, I'm not a combative person, and I'm very reasonable, and I'm open to any suggestions that come down our way.
I spoke to Ed Harry in just the last couple days, and I really think we have a great security program there. I think we need to implement a couple more things to make the school district safer, and one of those is, I was just at an event up in the Wilkes-Barre area. Valley West School District has a canine unit. So I'm very interested in seeing what the cost benefits of a K-9 unit are, but from what the teachers that were there said, that it would be a great addition to our police force and our security guards. Well, I think one of the problems is the overcrowding of our school district. I mean, when my children went there, if the class size was over 25 kids, me and my wife would have a problem with that. Supposedly, from what I've talked to teachers in the school district, it's 30 plus. I think that's unacceptable. I think we need to get to, especially in grades 1st through 3rd, where obviously learning is crucial, I think we need to get lower class sizes. Also, I think the transition, when somebody transitions here from another school district, say like in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, they're coming from a school district that doesn't have the teachers that we do. I think when we have the opportunity to teach kids from kindergarten to 12, we're very successful at that. Well, I know that the school board already has implemented closing the pools, which is going to add 12 classrooms. I know they have it on the table about the libraries. I think we have to look at every option out there. Well, I don't know if I'd say I'm the best suited, but I would say with my business background and owning multiple companies throughout the area, being president of Intrepid Detective Agency and managing partner, I think I've gained the experience through my career to be a school board member. If I'm elected, I will be improve quality of education in the safest school district and in the most fiscal, responsible way for our taxpayers.
This concludes our WILN TV 35 Meet the Hazleton Area School Board's Candidates special report. You've heard the candidates explain their platforms on the topics of school safety, educational quality, overcrowding, and why they believe they warrant your vote. Be sure to make your voice heard. Vote May 21st. WILN TV 35 is proud to continue to be your stop for the best political talk.